Okay, YouTube, I'm back with another lesson, and in today's lesson, we're going to be going into these two books right here, The Ancient Giants Who Ruled America, The Missing Skeletons, and the Great Smithsonian Coverup, and this book right here, Giants on Record, America's Hidden History, Secrets in the Mounds, and the Smithsonian Files. Okay, now, I'm going to go through some pictures in this book, in both of these books. You know what I'm saying? I've read them already. And then we're going to get down to what they were covering up. Okay. So before we get into this, we need to establish a couple of things. Who are these giants that they've been talking about? Right? So, let's go into this real quick. Now, this is from the website Suzar.com. Now, I have her book, right? Let's read a couple of things first, right? So it says here that, thus, Mama God was worshipped first, especially as the planet Earth, most revered by all the ancient indigenous civilizations. The Great Mama as Mother Earth was the first great terrestrial deity. Earth was conceived of as the fertile mother of all things, the womb of life. She still is your great provider. Everything you got is from the Mama Earth, including your body. Think about that. Okay, it says Earth was considered an island or an altar. Okay, mountain in the great noon, Mama's ocean of space. Outer space was called the cosmic ocean. Okay, now, let's read a couple of things. So, in the book, they're talking about these mounds, these pyramids, right? These giants, and they say they found. In this book, they always say that they found Indians, right? Like here it says, Smithsonian gets huge Indian skull out of these mounds, out of these pyramids. Now, who are these Indians? Indians are Negroes. So, like in this book right here, right? It says that Negroes inhabited America something like 22,000 years ago, and further shows that they were the first American and not Mongolians. The Negroes were always here. They were Aborigines of the continents of the Americas. Okay? The blood of the prehistoric black race is found on every continent and island today. They used to call America Turtle Island, right? And they even say it in this book right here. Okay? Let's put this to the side. And let's go into this book right here. And it says that black tribes in North America before Columbus. Alright? The 1936 Webster's Universal Dictionary defines an American as follows: an Aboriginal, or one of the various copper-colored natives found on the American continent by the Europeans. The original application of the name defines an American. Okay? The following tribes were considered the Red Indian when Europeans arrived. But in truth, the so-called Red Indians, Mongolians of light complexion, who after many generations had skin complexion of black, red, and brown varieties, full bloods, from mixing with the prehistoric black Australoids and Asiatic blacks. Today, the native Indians look mostly white from mixing with the white Americans during the 1800s and 1900s. Most Indians that were considered full-blooded from their black and brown complexion are mostly extinct. These were the black and brown faced tribes from African and Mongolian mixture upon the arrival of the European. Right, here are all the names, right? The Kiowa, the Chahina, the Comanche, the Choctaw, the Creek, the Samoan, okay? The Crow, the Sioux, the Navajo, right? Now, let's put this to the side and let's read this. It'll be a quick video. So whoever has these books, The Ancient Giants Ruled America, and you are stuck and trying to figure out who these giants that they were digging up, well, you come to this channel, you gotta find out who exactly it is. What bones they've been put on display in these museums all around America. It's pyramids all through North and South America. Pyramids is older, way older than Egypt. They got us focused on Africa. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what they do only digging to. Have you ever noticed there's no wars over there? Like, have you ever seen a tank rolling down Flatbush Avenue? Because they know what's over here. All right, so let's read this real quick. And then we're gonna go into this book and show some pictures. All right. So it says here that who was found in the mounds, right? Just like what they say here. Ancient, it says American hidden history, secrets in the mounds, and the Smithsonian files. Even the presidents talked about these giants. Okay, they call the giants Indians, but the Indians are black people. So let's do this real quick. Let's go here. Okay, so let's read this. The obscure mound builders were indigenous blacks of North America, ancestors of America's Washita Empire. Though so many have been deliberately destroyed, over 200,000 ancient pyramids and huge mounds of earth in the shape of cones, animals, and geometric designs can still be found from the southern coast of America to Canada. These structures were built by a so-called obscure people largely known as mound builders. It says, the truth about mound builders, it says, the truth about the mound builders is suppressed. Why? Because they were an advanced civilization of dark-skinned, woolly-haired blacks who were indigenous native to North America, kin or related to the Olmecs of South America. At one time, the African and American continents were joined, as proven by their similarity of tropical plants and animals, geographic traits, and their appearance of fitting together. You see that? The black mound builders were the Washita Moors, the original inhabitants of North and South America. It says many, really most, blacks in America are unknowing descendants of these mound-building indigenous blacks and not descendants of black African slaves. America is Amorica. Therefore, Columbus was not entirely wrong in calling these people Indians. For the true meaning of the word India is black person. Indi means black, as in India, or indigo, the darkest color of the spectrum. You see that? The massive remains of this ancient black civilization empire stands as one of the best kept archaeological secrets in the country. Ancient American Magazine, issue 17, reported, quote, evidence for black-skinned natives in the Americas long before the arrival of Columbus is abundant. For the distinctly Negroid features of Colossus Olmec sculpture heads and a pre-Aztec bowl being upheld by a figure with unmistakable black characteristics, to the bones of Negroid persons excavated from a 2,000-year-old mound or pyramid in northwest Wisconsin. A wealth of material exists to establish the certainty of non-white, non-Indian populations living in pre-Columbian America, along with these other groups. With these other groups. You see that? Many other mound builders were huge. Their ancient skeletons were often 7 to 8 feet. You see that? Are you hearing this? Give me 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna read this. So who was found in the mounds? So like here, when you go into this book right here, giants on record. So like when we go here, it says here that presidents and the giants, George Washington and Giant Bones, 1754 to 1755. It says, in Winchester, the most northerly town in Virginia, old legends talk about ghostly 7-foot tall Indian warriors roaming the streets. Most notably Piccadilly Street, that have ever been witnessed in recent times and recorded by Arthur McRupper. So let's drop down here. This is George Washington, and he says here that, quote, the legend began hundreds of years ago. The first written report of such large Indians dates back to 1707 when Swiss explorer Louis Mitchell visited the Shenandoah Valley. Local Indians who lived or hunted in the Winchester area showed Mitchell huge stones thought to be sacrificial altars. He was also shown burial mounds of ancient warriors known to have been over 7 feet tall. You see that? So, George Washington saw Indian skeletons, but these Indians are black people. Okay? Abraham Lincoln and the Niagara Giants. Congressman Abraham Lincoln visited Niagara Falls in 1848 from Boston to Chicago and delivered a speech while he was visiting the area. Some strange comments came forth hinting he knew about the ancient giants. So these giants are black people, they're Negroes. So when these white people put these books out, Giants on Record and the Ancient Giants of America, to show you these are white folks that's printing these books. Okay? And they don't want to come out and flat and say that these giants are black people, are Negroes. So it says here that, quote, when Columbus first sought this continent, when Christ suffered on the cross, when Moses led Israel through the Red Sea, nay, even when Adam first came from the hand of his maker, then as now, Niagara was roaring here. The eyes of that species of extinct giants, whose bones fill the mounds of America, have gazed on Niagara as ours do now. So we know that the mounds are pyramids. It says contemporary with the whole race of man and older than the first man. Niagara is strong and fresh today as 10,000 years ago. And so here's Abraham Lincoln, right? Thomas Jefferson and the Osage Indians. He talked about them. Okay? He talked about the giants. These are Negroes. These are black people. Okay? Now, I want to read this to you. Listen to what Thomas Jefferson said. Now listen to what came out of his own. Listen to what he says. Thomas Jefferson was said to have opened an Indian burial mound, meaning a pyramid, on his estate, Monticello in Virginia. He also had an abiding interest in the ancient mound building civilizations. The following information from Professor J. Houston McCulloch shows Jefferson's interest in a very strange earthwork complex in Ohio called Hanukkah Mound. Hanukkah is a Jewish festival. Okay? Now, 1 second. So, you Negroes who have been labeled African Americans, You have the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying, why I say that, you have the best of both worlds. Okay? So let's keep on going. Now listen what he says. Quote, in an important new book entitled Jefferson and the Indians, the tragic fate of the first Americans, Anthony F.C. Wallace, University Professor of Anthropology, Emeritus at the University of Pennsylvania, notes that in 1803, President Jefferson was impressed by William Littell's earlier maps of the East Fork and Milford works, and requested more information about those works of antiquity. It says here that, now listen to this, Jefferson's presidential interest in these specific earthworks may explain why the Corps of Engineers would have taken the trouble in 1823 to map structures that had no conceivable contemporary military value. The fact that the 1823 map depicts precisely those earthworks surveyed by Littell in 1803 strongly indicates that there was more than coincidental link between the two surveyors. It says, there has been much speculation that the lost tribes of Israel made it to ancient America and blended with the native peoples of the time. The controversial Newark Holy Stones, the Back Creek Stone, and the Hanukkah Mound have all been pointed to as indications that this may have been a reality. So they're saying that the tribes of Israel is over here in America. The lost tribes of Israel is in America. Okay? Now, so they have this on display. They tried to say it was a hoax, but then they did their excavation, their carbon dating, you know what I'm saying, their test, and it came back that this is real. And this is our ancestors they have on display. Same thing how they did with King Tut, got him on display. Okay? All through this book, they're talking about finding skeletons of Indians. Indians talking about black folks. Okay? Now, they even talk about it in this book right here. The ancient giants who ruled America. Same thing they're talking about here. Same exact thing. So, you know what I'm saying, if you want to get these books at your own disposal, you can, you know what I'm saying? So these are talking about Negroes, black people. These pyramids all over North and South America that was built all over the world, built by black folks. So, let's put this to the side and let's go here. And it says, who was found in the mounds or the pyramids? The bones of Negroid giants. Articles by albinos or white people rarely admit that these giants are Negroes. It would be incorrect to call them Africoid because nappy, spiral-haired black people are indigenous to North and South America as well as Africa. Black people are indigenous to the entire planet and the very cosmos. We are from everywhere. The very word indigenous is Indi, meaning black, or beginning, or the source. Even the word human is hue, meaning color. Dr. Richard King wrote, quote, all the black neuromelanin nerve tract of the human brain is profound proof that the human race is a black race, with many variations of black, from black to white to black, all internally rooted in a vast sea of brain blackness. Now, we go back to the mounds. It says the mounds are nothing but pyramids, giants and pyramids of America. Skeletons of tall giants with distinctly African features have been found in many of these mounds, which African Americans, including the Washita Nation, regard as sacred sites and pyramids. Many of these structures are over 3,000 years old and have been dated based on carving dating of artifacts found in them, although some have been dated to being studied in about 900 AD. 12-foot giants. Pedro de Castadena, who accompanied Conrado, wrote of Cocopa Indian tribe, wrote of the Cocopa Indian tribe that they were giants who could carry logs that 6 of the Spaniards could not budge. Archaeological discoveries are numerous as well. In 1883, soldiers digging at Lompoc Rancho, California, discovered a male skeleton 12 feet tall. The skeleton was surrounded by carved shells, stone axes, and other artifacts. The skeleton had double rows of upper and lower teeth. In Clearwater, Minnesota, the skeletons of 7 giants were found in the mounds of the pyramids. These had receding foreheads and complete double teeth. They even talk about it in here. So everything she's saying on this website, she's not lying. This black woman wrote these books. I got her books, and they talk about it in here. Let me see. Here you go, right here. They're talking about these teeth. Okay, right here. What's that? Double teeth all around. Okay. This earlier account of a 7-foot giant emphasis that, quote, the upper jaw had double teeth all around. These are black people. Okay? The Aborigines of Minnesota. In the Aborigines of Minnesota, it states that while digging Howard Lake mound, some decayed bones were discovered. Okay? Double rows of teeth. It says, in the time of Hadrian the emperor, 76 AD to 138 AD, there was raised from the earth in a place called Carthage, the body of a giant called Ida, who was 20 feet in length and who had double sets of teeth, or 2 rows of teeth still standing completely preserved in his head or in his gums. See that? These are black people, man. So when they draw shit like this is that whitewash bullshit. Because they can't come out and say these are black people, man. These are Negroes, man. Let's keep on going. During World War II, author Ivan T. Sanderson tells of how his crew was bulldozing through sedimentary rock when it stumbled upon what appeared to be a graveyard. In it were crania or skulls that measured from 22 to 24 inches from base to crown. Calculations showed that they would undoubtedly have been at least 12 feet or taller. Giants of Ohio. The serpent mounds of Adams County, Ohio. They talk about it in here. Serpent mounds. You know what I'm saying? Serpent mounds. All of that stuff. Hieroglyphic writings. You know what I'm saying? It's even in this book right here, the ancient giants who ruled America, the missing skeletons, and the great Smithsonian Coverup. Right? The pictures are in here. You know what I'm saying? The documentation is in here. Right? Check it out on your own. Do the research. Okay? Let's keep on going. Well, it says that the serpent mounds of Adams County, Ohio, contain the bones of giants over 8 feet tall in the early 1800s. Thousands of years ago, the Ohio Valley was inhabited by a race of giants. In 1846, Joseph Henry first first secretary of the Smithsonian Institution estimated that in Ohio alone there were over 10,000 burial mounds or pyramids. Unfortunately, the earlier pioneers destroyed most of them, but at least one burial mound has been reconstructed in Adams County, Ohio. Okay? And in it says, in the 19th century, several published accounts of excavation verified that many of the giants were over 8 feet and some 9 feet tall, and each had double rows of teeth. In 1883, an article appeared in the Journal of Scientific America in which a reporter asked an aged Indian what his people knew of these ancient graveyards. He answered, quote, "Me know nothing about them. They were here before the red man." See that? Giant skeletons. In his book, The Natural and Aboriginal History of Tennessee, author John Haywood describes very large bones and stone graves found in Williamson County, Tennessee, in 1821. In White County, Tennessee, an ancient fortification contains skeletons of gigantic statues averaging at least 7 feet in length. So that'd be like a basketball player, like Shaq. Okay? A history of Ashtabula County, Ohio. Same thing what she's talking about is in here. Ashtabula County, right here. Where? Where is it at? Well, she's right here. The Natural and Aboriginal History of Tennessee, 1823, by John Haywood. Same thing. These are black folks that they're digging up. Ashtabula County, historical record, 1828. Okay, they're not going to come out and say these are Negroes. I was going to say these are Indians that they're digging up. Wake up. Right here, Indian giants found. Bones of Indian giants. Chicago Tribune, 1892, confirmed race of giants. Who are these giants? Who are these giants that was in the Bible? All throughout history. Negroes. Building these pyramids. Building Stonehenge. Okay? Alright? Let's keep on going. We just read the history of Ashtabula County, Ohio, 1878. The graves were distinguished by slight depression in the surface of the earth, disposed in straight rows, which, with intervening spaces or valleys, covered the entire area. Okay, you can read. I'm gonna put this all in my description box. In Burren, Indiana, a 9-foot-inch skeleton was excavated from a nearby mound of pyramids. Okay, so let me see if they have it here. Let's see here. They talk about in here Atlantis and things like that. All this stuff that they're talking about in this book. I just want to see if I can come across anything that I hadn't researched before. You know what I'm saying? The grave tablet and things like that. I'm looking for something real quick. Like here, she just talked about. They have it here, the serpent mound. Okay. They talk about the serpent mound. So the serpent mound. Let's see here. Go here, and we're gonna click. So like here, let's read this. It says, a number of black Negro peoples are mentioned in the works of Black Nations of America, Atlantic Journal. Okay. It says Rapidsqueens was a naturalist who explored and took accurate documentation of his works throughout the U.S. And mentioning Negroes, blacks, Moors, Ethiopians, explorers such as Rapidsque referred to Negro black Africans, not dark-skinned Indians. Okay, native Negro and Mongolian Indians living together. Okay, Olmecan of Mexico and things of that nature. Now, we're going to go here to ancient pyramids. We'll click on ancient pyramids, right? And these pyramids, they call these mounds these pyramids mounds. So why are they not coming out saying that these are pyramids? Why are they calling them mounds? Okay? The abundance evidence is disguised by calling them mounds. Calling these pyramids mounds is a way of obscuring the black evidence. For these so-called mounds and other massive remains of the Black Watchtower Empire is one of the best kept archaeological secrets in the country. Okay? Alright? Here's your Great Serpent Mound. Same thing. I just read to you. Right? Stonehenge in England is a giant clock calendar built eons ago by small African people, documented by a European in the testimony of tradition by David McVitchie. Okay? China has hundreds of pyramids. Alright? So, just broke it down that quick. So if you were interested in buying these books, Giants on Record, America's Hidden History, Secrets in the Mounds, and the Smithsonian Files, The Lost City of the Giants, okay? A giant 18 feet tall, the ancient giants who ruled America, the missing skeletons, and the great Smithsonian Coverup. These are black people that they're digging up, and they're calling them Indians, but they're Aboriginals. They tell you if you go to the Noah Webster's dictionary, they tell you. Type in the word American. It's all that Indian stuff. That's just a cover up. Type in American. It says American, a native of America. So if you're a black person, you live in America, you're a native. You're a native American. You're a Native American. Originally applied to the Aboriginals, or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. So they labeled us as African Americans, but we cannot live in two places at one time. You know what I'm saying? That's impossible. We can't be in two places at one time. Right? So, all these pyramids, our ancestors built these pyramids. They're bones that they're digging up, putting on display. These are our ancestors, the so-called Indians. Not that Mongolian bullshit you see today. That watered down garbage. Alright? Pyramids, like I said, you got pyramids in Illinois, Collinsville, Illinois. right? Ancient Pima Black African Indians of Arizona. Okay? Giving you the documentation to look up on your own. So whenever you see these white folks, you put their ass on blast. These two white men wrote this book called Giants on Record, America's Hidden History, Secrets in the Mounds, and the Smithsonian Files, the Lost City of the Giants. And they don't want to come out and say that these giants are Negroes, are black people. Because they have an agenda. White supremacy. Okay? White supremacy. Same thing in this book right here. The ancient giants who ruled America. Alright? These tall people. They call them giants, but they're nothing but people. And the reason that they are tall like that is because of genetics, genes, DNA. Okay? So, in my next video, we're going to go into the book that I purchased called The Mormon's Codex. That should be in the mail probably by tomorrow, so give me some time to read that. It's about 800 something pages. Alright? And we're going to go into that. And we're going to tie that in and see what Joseph Smith was talking about. Talking about the Lamanites and the Nephites. Those are black people. So, just broke it down that quick who these giants are that's in these books that these white people put out on display. There were giants. There were giants in those days of old. The Nephilim. Okay? Like here, let's see if I can find it real quick. Like here they say the giants of Atlantis, the Freemasons, the Theosophists, you know what I'm saying? These Freemasons know who these giants are. Let's see. Like here, Nephilim and the biblical giants in America. Okay? It says if you Google giant skeletons, more often than not, the word Nephilim comes up, with web pages stating the giants of North America are in fact the very same giants featured in the Bible. Okay? Now, it says here that the word Nephilim originally appeared in the Torah, Hebrew Bible, or our Old Testament, and roughly translate as those who fell, those who came down, or those who left one place to go to another. It does not mean fallen angels. The name is also used in reference to giants who inhabited Canaan at the time of the Israelites' conquest, according to Numbers 13:33. Nephilim is also a general term used to describe multiple giant races and individuals in the Bible. For example, the Amalekites, Amorites, Anakim, Ashdodites, all these ites, Avites, Canaanites, Girgashites, Echerites, Hittites, Havites, Jebusites, Massonites, Massasites, Perizzites, all these ites, these are black people. Og of Bashan, black dude. Goliath, black dude. Okay? I told you that all the white man did was take the Bible and remixed it, and whitewashed it. That's all he did. But the Bible is not world history. It's just a piece of history. And then in one of my other videos, I'm going to show that what we've been trained to believe in the Bible, that Israel and all that type of stuff Moses parted the Red Sea. That didn't happen over there in Africa. That happened over here. Little Jerusalem, they call it Little Egypt. Things like that. That's over here. But, like I said, with the map, they got the maps all twisted up. So when you go into this map right here, you go into this map right here, prehistoric means before the white man. Right? All of this was connected. Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica, all this stuff was connected. So if all this stuff was connected, they all building pyramids on all these continents. They haven't found any pyramids in Europe, I don't think. Not to my knowledge. But the white man, the albino, the Caucasian, does not have a history. Okay? Let's see here. 1 second. Like here it says, Adites were black people. Adites were black folks. These Dravidians, all right, the Midianites, black people. A Midianite wise man taught Moses. All right, Hammurabi, black people. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put this to the side. I'm gonna let you listen to something real quick. Okay, let's do this. I want you to listen to this real quick.
People are not asking the right questions. They're not asking the right questions because they kind of...
The language group that all of them come from relationship. What part of Israel? Y'all got any questions?
No, I'm just checking this all
I'm
out.
just checking out. What's up, man? What's your nationality, bro?
This is my tribe right here. I'm praying.
Yes, man. Praise from both sides. What about y'all?
But it's not Cuban though, it's incorrect.
What's your...
He's breaking that 12 tribe chart down. He said that 12 tribe chart is not accurate.
So what is it?
It's Masachua. It's a little different. But it's Manasseh, it's the same thing.
What you mean, like, but your people come from Cuba?
Nah,
Where your people come from?
Israel.
Israel? What part of Israel?
Israel is here.
Manasseh. Okay, but what do they call your people on this side of the earth?
Masachua.
Massachusetts? That's a native tribe?
Massachusetts state named themselves after
Oh,
our tribe.
after. Massachusetts. Oh, okay. I'm with you.
But this is how the tribe is pronounced.
Okay, Manasseh.
So Algonquin language is the same as Israel language, the same as Hebrew language.
Yes, sir.
My language is very similar to this.
Okay. So y'all,
It's interesting.
y'all down here from Boston now?
Yeah, from Maryland. You got it.
Okay.
You got it. Yeah, it was just interesting to see that.
Yeah. That's
I saw it earlier. I was like, yo, that's crazy. It's got our tribe on it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I've been looking into the Algonquin and this. What is that other tribe? What are the other tribe like in New York? It's Algonquin. What's right in New York though?
Algonquin is still,
Shinnecock.
but they're all Algonquin still.
But they're all a part of
Algonquin's a
Algonquin.
language.
Yeah, it's a language.
There's only one Algonquin tribe there in Canada.
Okay, but the language group is Algonquin. Because I know like on the north, because I'm from the Northwest. In the Northwest, the language group that all of them kind of...
Yeah, they're Anishinaabe out there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're talking about West Coast.
Yeah, West Coast. You have the Salish tribes out there.
Yeah, coastal sailors, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we got the
Yep.
totem poles, the Seahawk, all that.
Yeah, I know all those brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about like the
The Wamish, Quileute,
the Wamish,
Squamish.
You know exactly, because I'm from Washington. That's the name.
Yeah,
of all the
the Wamish and all
all
that.
that.
Yeah.
Nisqually.
Yeah, the Squally.
Nisqually.
Nisqually.
Yeah.
Nisqually recently.
Okay.
On the salmon walk.
Okay.
He's on a walk with them. From Seattle all the way to San Fran. 2017, I walked that walk. Yeah, with the Anishinaabe.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, what's the tribe in San Diego?
It's a
Kino tribe.
Okay.
Okay. Happening now is, you understand?
Yeah.
Right. But these are the tribes of Washington State.
Okay.
But our nationalistic designation is called Titicut.
Okay.
So our designation is the way that we do our nationalistic stuff, like our nation status. It comes from the land base in which your home village is.
Okay.
So we have 198 different villages within Massachusetts, but my home village is Titicut.
Okay.
Because my grandfather, who was the chief of the tribe, I serve as council chief now, but my grandfather, he served as council chief, and when he did, the national designation was Titicut. So on the old documents that you can pull from the Vatican from the 1621, you can actually see there that it says Massachusetts country or Titicut country, opposed to, like a tribe. We didn't even use tribe. But Matakeesit would be my race. I'm considered Matakeesit as my race, but my national designation is Titicut.
It's crazy because literally we were just talking about it before you walked over. I was talking about how they got over 900 different, what they would say tribes, but everyone that got that federal recognition.
Yeah, they only got 565 federally acknowledged, but there's thousands that are unknowledged, and every single last one of you guys standing out here comes from one of those tribes too, that are unacknowledged. But acknowledged by her comes from one. Yeah, they only got 565 federally acknowledged, but there's thousands that are unknowledged, and every single last one of you guys standing out here comes from one of those tribes too, that are unacknowledged by the feds, but acknowledged by the Creator, which is more
What you're
important.
saying is basically
They found an ancient rock, because 10,000 years ago, that's also another
what
problem.
are you saying? Are you saying
This is
Israel?
Israel. This is Israel.
Why do you believe that this is Israel?
I'll tell you why I know that. Because 10,000 years ago, they found an ancient rock from my tribe, okay? And it was very prehistoric. It was about 10,000 years old. And the language on there is the same language as the Hebrew language, right? But also, what's interesting about this rock is that the story is the story of the Jewish high holidays, but it's ours. And then they replicated the story of the Jewish high holidays off of our actual documentation on the rocks. The story's off the rock.
Okay, which I'm familiar with that. But the thing is, what I would call on the question is, that is 10,000 years old. And that
Replicated the story of this. What's interesting about this rock, which is about 10,000, because 10,000.
basically you're acknowledging that we all go back
Absolutely.
to Israel.
Absolutely. But everybody thinks Israel is somewhere else. That's also another
What
problem.
are you saying? Are you saying
This is
Israel?
Israel. This is Israel.
Why do you believe that this is Israel?
I'll tell you why I know that.
Okay. So, he said that Israel is here. Now, why would you make that claim? In order for him to do that, he would have to know that all of this was connected together, right? So if all of this is connected together, right? And here's Africa right here, here's North America right here, South America, Antarctica, right? Who gets to say where Israel is at, and divide this stuff up into different sections, and make and create an imaginary boundary line? Okay, because like I said, they're doing all the digging over here. Majority of all the pyramids are over here. All the skeletons that they're digging up, they find the skeletons and these pyramids over here. That's over here in America, not over there in Africa. They haven't found not one skeletal remain in Egypt, in the tombs, in the Giza pyramid. All those pyramids over there is over there. They haven't found not one pyramid, not one skeleton with artifacts land beside them. But over here, if you read these books, Giants on Record, America's Hidden History, and the ancient giants who ruled America, they digging all these pyramids, and they finding nothing but Indian skeletons, black people's skeleton remains with artifacts bound, copper bracelets, Indian spears. You know what I'm saying? Smoke pipes, peace pipes. You ain't finding that over there in Africa. That's over here. So they got you all Africa this, Africa that, Egypt this, Egypt that. Okay, we're not taking away from Egypt. We know they did their thing, but that's not it's not happening. The archaeological excavation diggings is all happening over here. It's happening over here. Now let me see if I can find this part real quick. Like right here, Smithsonian reports, you know what I'm saying? You are the Indians, so-called Indians. Ain't no damn Indians. You're the Aborigines. You're the Aboriginal. Like I said, if you've been following my channel by now, you should already know that. You're more than some damn Aboriginals. You the creator in flesh. So when you look in the water, you're looking at your body, you're looking at yourself without a body, the water, because you're made up of water. Look in the dirt, the land that you're walking on, the dirt, the ground. You're looking at what you came from. You're looking at that without physical form. Now, looking for a certain section here. Let me see. Like here. If you look here, this is the Gazetter of Giants, right? And they have here Giants on records in each state. Alabama, they got giants in museums. Arizona, Arkansas, California. All these skeletal remains, these skeletal heads, these are our ancestors that they got. Connecticut, Massachusetts, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Indiana. They got it in Illinois. I'm from Illinois. They got it in Iowa. They got it in Kentucky. They got them in Kentucky, in Louisiana, Georgia, Massachusetts, Mississippi. They got them in Missouri, Nevada, Minnesota, New Hampshire, New Jersey. They got them in New York, North Carolina, Ohio. Okay, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Texas, Mexico, Wisconsin, and Canada, and even in Alaska. So we all over the damn place. Not just confined to this old. No, we're not just confined just to Africa. No, we're all over the goddamn place. So, just broken down that quick. If you read these books, Giants on Record, American Hidden History, Secrets in the Mounds, and Smithsonian Files, The Lost City of the Giants, that's here. These are our ancestors. The ancient giants who ruled America, these are our ancestors, the Aboriginals. The giants, they were tall people who were strong, who know how to, I don't know, man. Sometimes I get lost of words because our people are just so, I don't know what to say. sometimes we just so dumbfounded. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, when you go here, let me see. So enough time. Open the window. Yeah, 5 minutes left. Okay. So when you go here, so Indian is a black person, a Negro. They're telling you right here. Therefore, Columbus was not entirely wrong in calling these people Indians, for the true word meaning of Indian is black person. Indi means black, as in Indi, or Hindu, or indigo, the darkest color of the spectrum. Okay? Up here it says, many, most, it says many, really most blacks in North America are unknown, they don't know, they are unknown descendants of these mound building indigenous blacks, not descendants of black African slaves. So these mounds, the mound builders are pyramids builders, the pyramids. The pyramids. These structures were built by the so-called obscure people largely known as mound builders. The truth about the mound builders is suppressed. Why? Because they were an advanced civilization of dark-skinned, woolly-haired blacks who were indigenous, native to North America, and kinfolks to the Olmecs of South America. At one time, Africa and America continents were joined. They were joined. So Africa and America, it was one land. All that shit was joined together. Right here, if you look at the damn map, all this stuff, Africa and America is joined. It's connected. Okay? Ancient Negroid stone artifact from Burroughs Cave, Illinois. It's a black person. It's a Negro. Okay? So, when you go back into the map, blacks were in America when African America was one land and divided 40,000 BC. White folk they were not in existence. Okay? The North, it says North and South America was ruled by Olmec Egyptians, 15,000 BC to 400 BC. India means black, and India was first originally inhabited by black Ethiopians. Ethiopians are black folks. Okay? This is facts. This is facts. The planet was a world of all black people from the beginning of 66 trillion BC to 4,000 BC, or 78 trillion, 76 trillion, it don't matter what. Can't even put a number on it. So, just broke it down that quick. That these, if you are interested in reading these books, Giants on Records, the majority of these skeletons that they have found in these so-called mounds, but they're pyramids, are black people digging them up, putting them on display in museums. You know what I'm saying? These tall people, they call them giants, but they are ancestors. They are ancestors. They're just tall people. Okay? This is facts. So with that being said, around the time, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.